Good evening, folks. How you doing? It's Middle-Aged Gamer Guy here, also known as Mag. Welcome to another Tuesday night gaming chat where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. How has everyone been? Hope you're doing well. Let's see who's in the chat this evening. Gilfly, you were here nice and early, along with Gozzo and Kindred. Good evening. Mr. Dave Johnson is here. He says, behave tonight, you lot. The guest is wholly innocent and not used to your sorts of insanity. Kindred then said, behave, lol. Rock Muse, good evening. Said hello to Dave. How you doing? Over on YouTube, we've got Coley. How you doing? Good to see you. We've got Evan Lorenzo. How you doing? Back on Twitch, Retro Shazar. How you doing? Chloe, Flame. Got any aches or pains from the rock climbing yet? No, not yet. I got a croaky voice and I don't know why. It only happened this afternoon. So there you go. But it's all good. Good to see you, Coley. Thank you for being here. Greatly appreciate it. Also, I need to say, drink more tea. I've got a huge, nearly bigger than my head. I haven't got a sore throat though. That's the weird thing. I haven't got a sore throat. The Sprunky movie. Well, welcome on in. How you doing? Good to see you there. It's you too. Now that's a cup. It's a proper cup, mate. It's a proper cup. I also want to say thank you. Weirdly, this happened before we even went live. But we had 10 gifted subs for the channel. And they actually came from Sega. This isn't a joke. Some of you know that I covered the new Stranger Than Heaven game last week. And one of the deals of doing the live thing was getting 10 gifted subs. Those gifted subs went to Oted, Von Vocono, it's a Yellow Koala, Aurelian, AR89, Wacky, Fanta Dave, Stab Me Now, Stone Wolf, and Binky Kitty. So a couple of those do watch the show. Some of those are completely random. But thank you to Sega for doing all that. Greatly appreciate it. Looks like a sore throat. It's not a sore throat. Get over yourselves. Man Defender of Gotham. I'm just going to call you Gotham. My dad has the exact same mug. Do believe, right, Surf Carrington, do you believe that the earth is as flat as your ass? No, because I've got a peachy ass. Just ask my chat. There you go. So thank you so much to Sega for giving me the 10 gifted subs. I will be doing some more content for Stranger Than Heaven. There you go. Wow, man's a doctor now. Yeah, I know. There you go. Anyway, we saw his ass plenty when we were doing a rock climb. That's true. Literally hanging from a rock thing on. He does buns of steel. He did not just say that. I did. Yes, Dave. Sue me. Obviously, I can't do this show alone. I've got my co-host who knows the most, the one and only, and he ain't got a dodgy throat like me. Give it up for Mr. David Jones.
How you doing, mate? My throat is much better than yours.
Yeah,
you sound a little bit on the croaky side.
You must have a sore throat. I'm just like, no, my voice is just worn out, shouting at people constantly.
Oh dear, you have to rest your voice during the day tomorrow then.
Fuck that. I've got a load of stuff to record. That's not going to happen. I've got a load of content to make. There you go. Basement Dave, not Smelly Dave, just to clarify. How are you, Dave, and what you been playing?
Oh, I'm good, thank you, mate. I've played a few things. I have played Mixtape, which we're talking more about later on. Then I played a little bit more on Saros. I've got to, I think, the 4th biome called Blighted Marsh, which is proving a little bit challenging at the moment, but I need to get practicing. There we go. You played it last week, didn't you?
I did. I enjoyed it. I like it. I'm dipped back into it since because I've been a bit busy with some other games, but I do want to go back to that. But
yeah, I'm still enjoying it. It's just that the new biomes are getting a bit challenging. Lots of new enemies that I'm fighting, new weapons to try and get the hang of. So I got to get back into that a bit more. But then I got distracted by Battlefield 6, which has started its season. Yeah, started that today. So I had a quick go on that earlier on the new Railway to Gorman map, which seems like quite a good map from the one go that I had on it. But yeah, I quite liked it. You got one capture point that's on the train on the map, and now that train, when you capture it, it'll move, I think, towards your base. So the enemy's then got to capture it to make it move back to there. So it's quite a good spot for a lot of like back and forth action. it was good fun earlier. So I'm going to play some more of that this week.
Nice. Okay. I mean, a lot of people are already praising it. I've seen a lot of people quite hyped for that mode. I saw a lot of chatter about that. And yeah, we'll talk about Mixtape. I know Gilfly's played Mixtape because he's like, Mixtape, yes, oh my God. But there's a lot of controversy about that game, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on the show. I finished Samson, which is allegedly supposed to be the worst game of the year. I could tell you it's not, because I played something a lot worse last night. But I can see what people say, that it drops off. So I'd finished the story, and it just kind of just ends, and you go, oh, that was a bit anticlimactic. And then it rolls the credits, and then it does the thing whereas, oh, you've still got the world, you've still got the debt, so to free your sister, you carry on going. So it's like, okay, cool. Well, that means there's more stuff to do. And it weirdly did unlock a few other game type modes that weren't in the main game that I've been playing. But then I only had about $8,000 left from the 100 grand to pay off. So I literally did it in like a day, because the way you do it, you could start earning ridiculous amounts of money. So I paid it all off, and then you get a nice little conversation bit where you talk to your sister and she gets released from the mob. But there's no cutscenes that end the game when you get the first run of credits. And then there's no cutscenes, and it just says, any money you now earn is yours. Continue to play through how you see fit. But there's no point, because you can only spend it on repairing your car. So there's no point. So unless you want to do like all the collectibles, which really, they do give you extra stuff, but for the fact you've not got the debt, you don't need it. It then makes the game pointless. So unless they're going to add anything else in, it's kind of like, well, it's done now. There's no point carrying on.
Sometimes I think games just need to just end. Yeah, have a complete stop, proper credits, proper cutscene to finish it off. So they're just like leaving it kind of open and letting you roll on with it. Doesn't always work.
Yeah, I don't think they should have rolled the credits when you did the last chapter. They should have rolled the credits once you cleared the debt.
Yeah, make more sense.
And it would make more sense, and you can end the game. And then if you want to potter around afterwards, you could. But there's no point, because it's just an endless loop. The game will never end. So unless they add anything in. So I could see why it got really bad scores. But at the same time, I still think it was about a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Because I still really enjoyed it. It's just that a lot of stuff did kind of hold it back. And then I've nearly finished Pragmata. I've done 5 levels. I've 100%ed all of them. Cool. Which is a bit good going. I've only got the big boss level to do now. So I'm going to save that for possibly before I do stream tomorrow. I'll crack on with that and see if I can complete it for tomorrow. And then I'll move on to either Mass PI or Replaced or Saros. So there you go. So yeah, it's been interesting.
Cool. Yeah, I need to get onto Pragmata. I'll get that at some point. That probably will be June or something like that. I think probably after Bond. Yeah.
Well, I've just been told that my copy of Bond is on its way. Ooh. So I got told that today. So that's good. That's through IO Interactive. So that's not too bad. And I've had some other stuff as well, which we can talk about. Okay. Let's crack on. Good to see everybody here over on YouTube and Twitch. Let's bring in our guest. Is it in a bonded warehouse? Oh, that's such a bad joke. Dude. Matt, you're killing me. You're killing me. Let's bring on this streamer. We've been in the same building, but we've never met. This is the funny thing. So we were both at the Debug event a couple of weeks ago, but we didn't actually get to meet. The connection that we have is the fact that, unfortunately, there's another Dave that's linked to all this, who causes all the chaos. Not this Dave, but another Dave. And he's now clearly saying it's my fault. Twitch streamer, and you're going to get to see him tomorrow night as well, because he does play a lot of Nintendo content. We're going to do a special Mario Kart World community night tomorrow night, where we're bringing our guests community and our community together to play a load of Mario Kart, which we'll talk about more later. But please welcome our guest tonight, the wonderful OzoneMK. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello. Pleasure to be here.
Good to see
you. I'm great. How's it going, everyone?
Yeah, very good. Very good.
I think, we were in the same building. We maybe exchanged a glance once or twice, but I think that counts as meeting, to be honest. So Yeah, I think spiritual bond really, based off of that. But
that works for me.
Yeah, he's too enthusiastic, Dave said. Sorry,
Yeah.
this is the evil Dave, everyone.
Evil Dave, yes,
So-
evil Dave. Good Dave, evil Dave in chat.
Yeah.
Simples. There you go. So for those who don't know you, I will drop your if Dave, even though he's evil, could drop your link in the chat so that everyone could give you a follow. He has iQuell's pinned it to the top of the chat, so you'll link there. But let everyone know what do you do on your channel, because you're very sort of, it's not just Nintendo centric, but you are kind of Nintendo centric.
Yeah, so it's the MK in the name. It's OzoneMK, and that stands for Mario Kart, if you can believe that. So on most weekdays, I'll be playing Mario Kart World, typically badly. But yeah, sometimes like on the weekends, on every Sunday I'll play Pokemon. So I'm trying to work through every Pokemon game at the moment.
Nice. Okay.
So we're starting with all the ones on the Switch because they're the easiest like ones to play. So we just finished Pokemon Leaf Green, and now we've moved on to Pokemon Sword. And yeah, every Saturday I'll have a guest on and we'll play just a random game. So this previous Saturday, me and my friend were playing Super Mario 3D World. So you can kind of, it's very sort of Nintendo orientated. I'm not sure, you may be able to see some things in my background here. We got a lovely Animal Crossing painting. There's a baby Luigi up there. But yeah, I've been playing Nintendo since I was maybe 3 years old. So yeah, it's sort of it's what I'm passionate about, and that's what I'm sort of pursuing.
There you go. A couple of people actually thought it was going to be Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I get it's either people either think for some reason it's Mortal Kombat or it stands for like massive knockers or something like that. So I don't really know. Am I allowed to sort of be profound? Sorry.
You can be yeah, it doesn't matter. We've said a lot of words.
I'm never sure.
Yeah. We've said some terrible words.
Yeah,
no, it's yeah, no, it does stand for Mario Kart, unfortunately. So but yeah, I played a little bit of like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as well. But nice. Yeah, that's my main thing is that. And obviously, you know, I always get it. I get bait-based viewers come in and they always beat me. So you know what? Maybe it's nice for them as well.
Yeah. There you go. Rock Music Baby's mentioned that's it. Stream cancelled. No stream cancelled. It's all good. So obviously you're going to be on with us tomorrow night.
Yes.
You mentioned you're also on Saturdays. What other days do you tend to stream?
So it's typically every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that I stream. And yeah, so on most weekdays, so on the Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I do about 2.5 hours, and then 3 hours Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Cool.
Okay. Cool. iCross says that didn't cross my mind, but I mean, now I'm thinking of massive knockers instead of Mortal Kombat. But there you go. If anyone wants to check Ozone's channel out, it is pinned to the top of the Twitch chat. If anyone on YouTube wants it, let us know, and we'll get our mods to drop it in the YouTube chat as well for you as well. In fact, what I will do, I can do that. Rock Muse is giving you a follow.
Thank you, Rock Muse.
I know Ozone, your Ozone. I know Gozo has also dropped. There you go. In fact, if I do that, that goes to all the chats right now. There you go. Done.
Amazing.
Perfect. So Ozone has just tipped over 200 followers. So that's a
celebration.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
How long have you been up and running now? Because it's been a couple of months, hasn't
it? Yeah. So I think I started back when, God, it must have been October last year, end of October. Okay. I believe my first stream was on the Plants vs. Zombies game, the Planted one. And then kind of from there, just consistently up until now, really. So what is that, like 7-8 months?
Yeah, I'll say about 7-8 months.
So going for a decent amount of time, and I hope to not be going anywhere anytime soon.
Good man. That's good going. For 200 followers for the 6 months is very, very good.
I paid a lot of people.
Shit, that's where I went wrong.
I'm down quite a bit.
Please say you hit affiliate, because otherwise that means you can't earn money and you won't get that money back.
Yes, yeah, I think I hit that fairly quickly. And then it's kind of been upwards from there, really.
Okay, all good, all good. Should we start the show, gentlemen?
I think we should, mate.
All right, well, let's hit that thing. Let's get the chat on there, and then let's hit this little thing, because it is our 365th show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about lots of indie games, including Waxhead, Duck Side of the Moon, Mixtape, and Outland. Plus, we're also going to discuss Nintendo feeling the pressure to raise their console prices, and then why it actually happened. We'll also be looking at the latest UK retail gaming charts, plus some other games and some gaming news. And we'll give you a little update on Timeless for those who missed it last week. There you go. Your fan club's in tonight.
I love you too.
There you go. Always good. So let's kick off with our first game tonight. This came out last Tuesday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And if you like your vinyl, you're going to like this, because this is Waxheads. This one's for you, Matt. Dated rhyme. There you go. That is Waxheads, which is currently 12 quid down to £10.19 on Steam, and 12 quid down, same price on Xbox. Don't know what it is on PlayStation 5 yet, though. But there you go. So, Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one.
Yeah, it's a little cozy narrative sim where you're working in a little record store. You know, trying to help all the customers that come in. They're going to sort of ask you questions. You know, they might have some rough idea of like some sort of type of music they're looking for. You know, something that they heard. They can't quite remember what it's called. They give you a few hints, and you've got to try and help them. You know, find the right sort of music that they're looking for. I think you get to hear some of their stories, and I think your character gets to sort of work with a band as well. But I think it's meant to be a fairly just chill game. You know, just chill out in the record store. Makes you think of like films like High Fidelity.
Yes.
So that was quite a cool film. So if the game's kind of anything like that, I think it might be quite fun. I don't think it use any licensed music. I think it's got quite a few like original bits of music and like original albums and stuff in there. But I think it still looks quite nice. It's got quite a cool art style to it. It's like a cool game.
There you go. Yeah. PlayStation. Thank you, Kindred. PlayStation is 12 quid, and if you've got PS Plus, that's down to £10.19 as well. So pretty much you can get it pretty much anywhere for £10.19 at the moment, which doesn't seem too bad. There you go. Ozone. So
yes,
lots of indie games to talk about tonight. Are you into sort of like these kind of games where it's more sort of, there's things you've got to do and puzzles you've got to figure out, but there's like a underlying narrative across it?
Well, I'm actually I'm a game design university student, so I'm quite into like all of these like indie games and things like that. So like things like that puzzle solving sort of thing, it is quite appealing to me. Something that wasn't so appealing to me was the toenail situation that they had going on right at the beginning there. That was not a fan of the hanging off toenail. I'm gonna keep it real. But no, that looks like a lot of fun actually. I quite like sort of, you've got to figure out what's best for the customers. It's sort of got that cozy, I think someone in chat said it, he's got that cozy sort of feel, almost like have you ever played Dave the Diver?
Yes.
You know the bit where you're in the restaurant, you're going to kind of serve the orders. It kind of reminded me a little bit of that. The art style I'm quite a fan of as well. It looks very, very nice.
Okay. All right. For those who haven't seen the show before, we technically don't review the games. We leave that to the so-called experts. We'll talk about that later. But we scour the internet and get loads of different scores, whether it be from Metacritic, Gamer Ranks, GameSpot, IGN, Eurogamer, to name a few. And I turn that into an average score, so we can play a bit of a guessing game. You've got to guess what the critics scored, not what the audience scored, just to clarify. If you get it right, we give you a shout out in chat. You can have anything from 0 to 10 with 0.5s as well. Let's see what chat is saying, and then we'll kick us off. Dank is saying an 8.5. Chloe's saying a 6.5. Gozzo's saying an 8.5. Brian says an 8. 6.5 massive knockers out of 10. Well, thank you for keeping that going. Ash Frith, thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. I recognise that name very well indeed. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no pressure on you whatsoever. Kindred says an 8.5. Gilfly says an 8. Flame says an 8. Rock News says a 7. Retro Shazar says an 8. Dave says, "Oh God, Ash is here. Look busy." Gotham says a 7.5. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got? The critics.
I'm going to try an 8.
Okay, going for an 8. Ozone, what do you reckon?
I was going to throw a 7 at it, to be honest with you. I think I don't really know. I couldn't really kind of gauge the gameplay that well, I didn't think, from the trailer. But I think if I had to throw a number at it, I think I'm going to go for a 7.
Okay. All right. Well, folks, this is your last chance to guess the scores of what Waxheads, which came out last Tuesday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S and PC, is roughly about £10.19 on all platforms. If you don't, last chance to get your scores in, because I can tell you that for our first game this evening, this got 8.5 out of 10. And look at Dave just score. He just got that in there. I'm going to allow that. That literally scooted in there.
That was like a photo finish there.
It was. I'm going to let you have that, Dave. See, I can be nice. Well done. For those who got it right. So David says, "I am the best." Well, we'll see if you get 8 out of 8 right, then you can claim that title. But Dave, you got it right. Kindred, well done, you got it right. Gozzo and Danka, that's everyone that got it right. We can get a shout out for them. He says, "I will get 8 out of 8. He's determined. We'll see. There you go. That's
so humble
game. Go check out Waxheads because it's reviewed very, very well. Coming up next, a game that I weirdly have seen more of on TikTok than anything else, and didn't realize that this was coming out when it did. This also came out last Tuesday. This is on PC, Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and is available on Game Pass. Kind of felt that it came out to a bit of a whimper, but I am intrigued by it. This is Motor Slice. Let's have a look at the trailer for this.
This is Slicer P. My job here is to hunt down machines. Get in, eliminate the machines, and get out. Failure is forbidden.
Now, I've just seen this from Brian from the UK Gaming Network. Played this on Game Pass. Easily the worst game I've played in 2026 so far. And I played Ebola Village. I mean, I played Ebola Village last night, and yeah, that was bad. So this is what's weird. I see clips of this and I thought, this is my kind of game, but it just doesn't look that good. I know it's an indie game, but it just doesn't look that good for some reason. So I've been like, well, do I play it or not? At the moment, it's down to £15.7 on PC. It's £15.6, or a penny difference, on Xbox, but you can also get it free on Game Pass. PlayStation, it's down to £14.39 if you've got PS Plus. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this. I'm very divided about this.
Yeah, this was something I wasn't familiar with until like a came with the reviews. I hadn't heard of it before, so like, unlike yourself, you've seen bits of it on TikTok. Until I started watching a couple of videos, hadn't heard of it at all. But it looks like it's a bit sort of anime inspired with the graphics, but it's like a sort of parkour third-person action adventure game.
Yeah.
Your character's been dispatched to this like mega structure, and they've got to like find their way to the top and battle robots and stuff along the way to get to the top to do whatever it is they've been dispatched there to do.
Yeah.
I think it looks all right graphics wise. I'm kind of with you. I'm not 100% convinced by it. I just think it looks okay. I think the environments look all right. It's not totally taken with the character design. But what I was watching a review earlier about it, they were kind of saying that the combat's kind of okay, but I think your character can't take that many hits. And I think the enemies can get dispatched pretty quickly as well.
Right. Okay.
But I think the problem with your character being quite weak is when it comes to the boss fights, you got to try and traverse these massive like bosses to like cut them to pieces because your character's wielding a chainsaw, and if you like take a hit, you might just then be out. You haven't really had much chance, so you'll go back to a checkpoint and have to try and get back to the boss. So I think there's probably a bit of frustration you can get there at the combat. As I mentioned, your character uses a chainsaw in the combat. They also use that in this traversal as well. So I think there's certain surfaces you can stick the chainsaw in and then use that to traverse across. So I think it's got some probably quite good looking sort of parkour challenges, exploring the environment, making your way around it. The combat, I think, looks like it would get a bit repetitive and perhaps a little bit annoying, especially if you can die too quickly. So I can't say I'd rush out to get this, even though it's low priced. Since it's on Game Pass, at least if you're already paying for that, you haven't got any more. Go see what it's like. But looking at Brian's comments, I don't know, might be one to just put in the back burner because there's a ton of other stuff out that's probably better use of your time.
Interesting. Okay. Ozone. So this game may be a bit of a grind, or a bit more for what we call hardcore players that do like punishing games. But what are your thoughts on it?
I thought it looked quite fun, to be honest with you. The sort of I also have seen this quite a bit on TikTok, sort of clips of people playing it. I hadn't really seen much of the gameplay though of it. So in that sort of start, I was expecting quite a fast-paced game, a bit more along the lines of Haste or like Ultra Kill or that sort of game. Especially as you're using a chainsaw to sort of traverse, you can imagine like sticking it into the ground and being like pulled along by it really quickly. And then when it sort of got into that gameplay, I was kind of like, oh, they're slowly climbing this structure a bit like, God of War, the bits where he climbs up the towers or that sort of thing. Breath of the Wild, almost climbing up the towers. But it still looks fun, a bit on the trickier side, which is, I think, there's a certain audience for that that likes their more challenging games, like Bloodborne, Soulsborne games, that sort of thing. Art style wise, I mean, I'm a sucker for low poly sort of that sort of vibe. Like I love an N64 game. I love a PS1 stylized game. It feels like they've half leaned into that, but not fully committed to it. So it looks like they wanted to go for that style, but kind of didn't fully go for it. So it almost gives an impression of it almost looks like they weren't trying to do that. And then like, it just looks a bit rough around the edges of it here. But no, I think it looks like a fun game. I think if you've got the time to sink into it, then I agree. I wouldn't go out of my way to play it, but if it was there, I would pick it up probably.
Okay. Right. See, that's the thing. I think as it's in Game Pass, I will give it a fair shout, but I can't see me streaming this. And I was like, do I not? And it just got cast aside. It's very hard. Folks, get your scores in chat. Let's want we've already got a couple of scores already. Danker's like maybe an 8, not sure. Iquel said I missed the trailer, so obviously a 7. We have a general rule: if you miss the trailer, you could go for a safe 7. Because 9 times out of 10, you might get it right. Rock Muse says a 6. Gotham says a 4.5. Okay. Chloe says a 6. Flame is saying a 7. Ozone, I'll start with you. Chat, get the rest of your scores in, please.
I think I'm going to throw a 6 at it as well. Yeah.
All right. All right. Retro Josiah is saying a 5. I don't like how there is actual games discussion going on. The last time I guessed it was Mag saying, Dave, what do you think? And I replied, I like buckets, look a shiny thing, and then ran out the door. Gozzo saying a 7. Kindred is saying a 7. Dave is saying a 7. Brian is saying a 7. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, of course. But Brian, when you reviewed this, what did you give this? I know you're saying a 7 for this, but I want to know if this was the worst game of your year. I'd like to know. It better be a 7 now, says Dave. If I was reviewing it, I'll give it a 3 or a 4. Damn. Okay. There you go. Gilfly saying a 7. Dave, what say you?
I'll try a 6.5.
Okay, going for a 6.5. Okay. Any more for any more? This is Motor Slice, which came out last Tuesday on PC, Xbox Series X, PS5. As we said, it's roughly... I'll find the prices again. I've lost them now. Where are they gone? It's roughly about 15 quid on PC, 15 quid, 14 quid on PlayStation, and free on Game Pass. If there are no more guesses, Ozone did rate it, Dave. I can tell you the critics loved this.
Oh, really?
This got an 8.
Surprising. That is surprising, to be fair.
I'm surprised by that because I looked at it and it kind of put me off a little bit. Dave, you didn't. Shush. You're not 2 for 2. I'll get iQual to belittle you. And I'm like, eh. And then with Brian, who's reviewed it, I mean, Brian says all opinions are valid. Fair, but you know what you're talking about, Brian. And you've reviewed a lot of games. So I'm a bit like, Yeah, see, Gozzo says, yeah, to me, it looks like a 7 or a 6.5 to me. So, yeah, I think everyone's got that same sentiment, Gozzo. I think everyone's pretty much on that thing. But, hey, this is why we say it's not the user reviews. We base this on the, I don't know. We'll see. If you try to play it. Yeah,
indie games are really tough. Sorry to interrupt. They're really tough because, like, sometimes a reviewer, like, not every indie game is going to be the next Undertale. You know, not every developer is the next Toby Fox. So a lot of these, like, you look at the trailer for Undertale and you probably think that looks a bit naff, but you play Undertale and it's like, oh, this is brilliant. This is fantastic. So I think indie games are very, you know, with these AAA titles, you can kind of go, oh, that looks fantastic, or that looks shocking.
Yeah.
Indie games, you really never know what these sort of reviewers are gonna say about them.
No, I mean, that's very true. You just have no idea what's going to happen. But they said an 8 out of 10. Try it. Let me know if anyone tries it. Let us know. DM us. Let us know on the show. Let's move on. Let's talk some gaming news. I'm going to go for... Do you know what? I'm going to go for the big news story. Because this came across in 2 parts. So last Wednesday, it was announced that Nintendo were facing pressure from shareholders to raise the price of the Switch 2. Now, it's the only console that's not had a price rise since its release. And it's been a year now, pretty much, since it came out. We've seen prices rise for Xbox and PlayStation twice. So what's happened is stock prices have dropped over the course of the year with the Switch 2. Nintendo is making more money from peripherals and games than it is the console. With all the different tariffs and everything going on, it means what they're selling at, they're technically selling it at a loss. And this means, because of that, their stock price has dropped. And whereas, let me get this right, it's dropped down to almost... I can't even read my own writing. Oh, so it was originally roughly their shares were worth about $125, and it's dropped down to about $18. Over the course of the year, it's been a steady drop. Okay, so you can get shares now since this happened last Wednesday, so it's dropped even more at $12.26. Okay, so it's still steadily dropping. So what's happened is, because of the pressure of the shareholders saying, we want our dividends, we want our money, you need to do something. 2 days later, so Friday last week, they announced that the prices are going up on the console. Nothing else, just the console. For people in Japan, it's not so good because they go up at the end of this month. However, for people in Europe, Canada, and the US, there you go, 11.31, it's dropped even more. So there you go, 11.31, it's dropped even more. I think I wrote this morning, so it's dropped since. So it's gone down by $1 in the space of about 9 or 10 hours. It's basically, prices have gone up by roughly $50 and €50. So US, Canada, and Europe, prices go up from September the 4th, I believe. So you've got a couple more months. So if you haven't got a Switch 2, now's the time to get it, because it's going to go up by about 50 quid. Okay. For those in Japan, you've literally got about 2 weeks. So discussion on this is, they announced that they were getting the pressure from the shareholders. The share price is dropping. They're clearly making more money from games and peripherals like the camera and all the other bits. Do you feel that they've done the right thing? Do you think that shifting the price up to actually make some money on these consoles is going to work? Or do you feel that it wasn't really the right thing to do and they're just keeping the shareholders happy?
I think they're kind of a bit stuck with all the other component costs that keep going up. RAM and storage going up. We've got increases in fuel costs around the world, so it costs more to transport stuff around. So I think they end up having to pass on the prices onto the customer. I mean, it's only a £50 increase, but it still does make it quite pricey, doesn't it? What's it going to be $500 over here? So it's pretty much $500 in America when that goes up. So it does feel like he's getting a bit on the expensive side for what it is. But I suppose in something like the big games come out, like the next Mario, the next Zelda, people probably still flock out and buy the consoles at that point anyway, and those sort of games help boost the share prices up. I don't know how much difference raising the console costs would make to the share price. I can't imagine do a huge amount to it, because I thought less people will be inclined to buy it at the moment. But as I say, I think it'll need the bigger games out to shift more of the consoles.
Yeah, they've got a couple of big name games due out, as we know. They've got another Splatoon game. We've got the Star Fox game, which they announced the other week. But still not massive amounts. We've obviously got the game made by the people that did Elden Ring that comes out, which is a Switch 2 exclusive, but there's no date on that. So
we don't really know what exactly it is either.
No, we don't know if it's a Souls-like or not.
Possibly, but nothing's really been said for definite.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that'll probably shift some, just because it's a From Software title.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how many people are bothered about Star Fox these days. I mean, it was a good game when it was back on the N64, but it's an old game. It's on its fourth version, I think it is.
Fifth version.
I think it's the third time that Star Fox 64 has been released. So they did the original on the N64, and then they re-released it on the 3DS, and then this will be the third time that they're remaking the same game.
So it's the third time they're remaking it, but also the remakes are all based on the original game, so they just added more stuff. So it's the fifth incarnation, but the third remake, I think, is the correct way to say it. I'm excited for that. I think that looks great, because I haven't bothered to play any of the ones on the N64.
I think it's going to be fantastic. Yeah, I think from a standpoint, they put Fox in Mario Galaxy. Obviously, that's brought so much sort of attention, not only to Fox as a character, but also, I believe, like the Star Fox brand. And then, announcing this new game, it makes so much sense to do now, and then doing it as like the purest form of Star Fox being the N64 like Lilac Wars, it makes perfect sense to do that now, with like bringing in sort of these newer audiences and then giving them, hey, like this is the big one. And I made like a whole YouTube video about this. I don't think that this is the only Star Fox game that they've got in production. Like, I don't think that they will just release a remake and then wait another 10 years and then reboot it for the 6th time. I think that we've probably got more of a bigger game for Fox on the horizon, maybe more sort of closer to the GameCube experiences of like Adventures and Assault. But yeah, and I think the key thing to keep in mind as well, like the console price is going up, which is going to cause issues, I think, for some people. I mean, people were already very unhappy that it was already £400. Bringing it up to £450, that's the price that the PS5 and like Xbox Series launched at. That's quite a high bar for a Switch 2, I think, because they're not as powerful as those consoles, and they, you know, they're not really giving you the game. They're not giving you Mario, Zelda, you know, the big ones. You've got sort of Donkey Kong and Mario Kart at the moment to bring you back. And that's it at the moment. But these newer games, the Splatoon game that's coming out and Star Fox, are both, I believe, £40, £42. So the prices of the games have actually come down, funnily enough, whereas the console has gone up. So
it's not too bad.
We'll see where they sort of go with that. But no, it's going to be interesting for sure.
I don't think it's going to be too bad. I think people have got time to get a console cheaper now. You got until September. It's not so bad. And we'll talk about prices of games later on in one of the news stories, but we'll see. New Splatoon game. Yeah, I mentioned that. Pre-order that one too. We've got that. You've got obviously Star Fox, as we said. You've got literally in a week or two, you've got the new Yoshi game. So there's a few, but there's nothing that's majorly making me go, yay. It's weird. I think the thing with the Switch 2 is, compared to the Switch, when some of the games come out on Switch, there was a lot of good hype for it. I don't think that anything that's come out this year has been as hyped as Mario Kart or Donkey Kong, but even them haven't seemed to have been anywhere near as hyped as anything else that was on the Switch. So it's an interesting. I think the Switch 2 needs to get a bit of a boost, because it's Tomodachi Life was that came out again. It's doing well. It's not like it's getting shout about. The Metroid game has been deemed a flop by Nintendo, which came out before Christmas. I enjoyed it, but people are just not talking about it. It's maybe, again, that's what contributes to the share prices dropping. That people are not talking about Switch, even though when you see the retail charts, Switch is outselling everything, which is crazy. But it's a weird world we live in. We'll talk about some more news in a bit. Let's have a look at some more new games. If you're a Pink Floyd fan, you'll probably get this pun. This came out last Thursday on Switch and PC. And it's a bit quackers, because this is Duck Side of the Moon. I saw you roll your eyes, Dave. So this is Duck Side of the Moon, which came out last Thursday on Switch and PC. On PC, you can currently get it for just over 15 quid, and the same on Nintendo Switch. I've been sent a copy of this. I literally got a copy yesterday. I do want to play it because I've heard about this. I've had a lot of press releases over the last couple of months about this. No idea where I'm going to fit this in. So we might play this in June. But I will say to the people and the publishers that sent me a copy, if I don't, I apologise now. But I did tell them we'd talk about it on the show tonight. So at least that's something. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this space adventure. Bondy, good evening. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, this is a little cozy exploration adventure game. You're playing as a little duck called Doug who falls asleep at the controls of his spaceship, crash lands on a planet on the distant side of the galaxy, and kind of has to make a life there. Really, there's a little I think rocks that are alive around there that you have to sort of help out. You'll chat to them as you're exploring around. But you'll generally be looking for like resources, solving their little quests, crafting stuff, and then sort of customizing your spaceship to make it a nice little cozy place to live. So that style of game, not for me, not my type of game at all. But I think graphically it looks quite nice. I like the little duck character, and this cozy stuff, it always proves pretty popular. So I'm sure there'll be a decent audience for this.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I have to say, it does look really good. I'll be honest. I hope you get a chance to play with your duck on stream, Mag. Anyway, I want to see Ozone and his friend Lewis play this for Social Saturday. Ozone, your thoughts on this? Because again, obviously, this has come out on Switch. This is the first Switch game we're talking about this week. Your thoughts on this?
I think that looks really fun. I think that it's the Switch has an abundance of like these cozy games, but all of them seem to have their own sort of strange charm. I love the concept of we'll put a duck in space and make him build railroad. Like what? Like it's just ridiculous, and I love that sort of goofiness, silliness of it. I saw as we were watching it. Dave said, "Oh, it's got OzoneMK written all over it," and it does, because it's a duck in space. It's ridiculous. I think, I think I'd play it. Would I progress? I'd maybe play it for 5 hours. I don't see it being the next Animal Crossing. I don't see it being the next Pokopia, but it just looks like a silly time, which I'm completely on board with, to be honest with you.
If I can get a chance to play, so we can get it in the schedule for June, I will. I haven't promised the publishers anything. They just sent it out the blue, so I was like, oh god damn it, if I'd known about it. It's a play in bed game, I think. Gilfly, you get your Switch. That's it, Mag. Ozone is playing this game on stage with Timeless.
Please.
Maybe. We'll see. Let's see what people are saying with the scores. Brian, 7.5. Danker, 7.5. Bondy, 7. Gozzo, 7.5. Rockmuse, an 8. Kindred, 7.5. Chloe, 7. Flame says an 8. Dave, I'll start with you this time. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go for a 7.5.
7.5. Okay. Ozone?
I think I'm also going to go for a 7.5.
Okay. All right. Going 7.5. Rochers are saying an 8. So the average playtime is about 2 hours. For a completionist, it's 5 hours. So that's not too bad. I think it's only about a tenner. It's not that bad. Iquel saying 6.5. Dave saying 7.5. So if there are no more scores in chat, folks, this is Duck Side of the Moon, which came out on Thursday for Switch and PC. Hopefully it'll get an Xbox and a PlayStation release. But I can tell you, this got 7.5. Gilfoy comes in with a 7 just before I hit the button, but it's a 7.5. So lots of people to say congratulations to. Firstly, our guest. He's got right. We're going to shout out his channel. Go follow Ozone if you're not already doing so. He will be playing Mario Kart World with us tomorrow. There's all his links spammed in chat. Dave, we'll come back to you in a minute because we've got to give you your shout out. But also, let's see. Dave Johnson, your second one right this evening. Well done. You did good. Kindred, well done. You got it right. Gozzo, you got it right. Danker, you got it right. And Brian from UKGN. Well done. You all got it right. Congratulations there. We're guessing a 7.5, which is pretty decent. So go check it out. Shout out to going there. While that is happening, for those who've not seen the show, Dave is not a streamer. Dave does not have a channel to promote. Therefore, the only way we can shout out is by doing exclamation Dave in chat and allowing Dave to tell me how he wants his special shout out.
I think we'll see if your knees are cracking tonight.
I'm up for it.
That's it. Right, everybody listen out.
Here we go.
Will
Get ready.
and shatter.
Let's go. Oh, there we go. Right, you ready?
Yep, go for it.
3, 2, 1. Dave!
Well done for getting back up.
Do you know what? I'm surprised because after doing that rock climbing on Sunday, I didn't think that'd be a thing. I'd still be sat on the floor. There you go. Never get old, chat. That noise is horrid. Crack those knees. Still can't beat that double knee crack. There you go. There you go. Our next game is another game that I'd seen mentioned for a couple of weeks. Didn't know much about it. When I saw the name, I went, that reminds me of that thing you used to play on Windows, like the original Windows before Windows 95. And I'm not wrong. This is an up-to-date version of Minesweeper. This is Infinity Sweeper, which came out on PC last Thursday. Let's have a look at the trailer for this. There you go, Infinity Sweeper, which came out last Thursday on PC. Normally £8, but you can get it at the moment for £6.39. So if you like to look at this, our cheapest game of the night so far. It's just Minesweeper. Agree, vibing music though. To be honest, I still love Tetris. Well, it's funny, we've been getting like a revamp of certain things because we had the coin pusher game. And then last week we had a game that was, what was it? That was the thing that was... Oh, the chess game, Gambonanza, we talked about. So we're getting all these old games coming back and revamped. So I used to love a bit of Minesweeper in the day. It got quite addictive. But this looks pretty decent, I have to say. It looks like a lot of fun. So, Dave, is it just Minesweeper or have they added a lot more to it?
Well, yeah, it is Minesweeper, but it's got a roguelike twist to it.
Of course it has.
You just seem to have to throw a roguelike onto like anything these days. So we had chess the week before. We had that coin pusher one. You know, it's all got the roguelike bit added onto it just to give it something a bit extra. So you don't just feel like you're playing the old game that used to come with the old version of Windows. I never really played much of Minesweeper myself. I tried it, but it's one of those things that never really clicked with me.
Yeah.
I preferred Solitaire or Free Cell.
Yeah.
Coming along soon with a roguelike twist as well. But, you know, if you remember Minesweeper, you know what you got to do. You've got the board. There are mines hidden there. You've got to try and work out where they are. But because it's a roguelike, it's got a few extra bits to give it a bit more stuff to do. There's a little shop that you can go into to buy things to like add modifiers into the game, where it might give you some like hints where stuff are, or it might remove some mines. It's all got. I haven't actually seen what they're like, but it has got like boss battles every 4 levels because it's meant to be like 16 stages in a run. So you've got to try and get through as well as you can in your run. If you don't do that well, you just start again, and things will be set up a little bit differently because all the boards are procedurally generated each time. So it might be quite cool. I think if the music in the game is like the music in that trailer, you could just chill out and relax. I did like that music. I agree with people in the chat. Definitely vibing along to that. Good music. So if that was the music in the game, I could just see you kind of like getting absorbed in this for like a good few hours. Before you know it, the time was shot by. Hopefully, we'll have found a few mines, beat a few of the bosses. Looks like it could be all right, and it's cheap. So
it is. It is cheap. Chloe said it's just like Disney making live action films. I think a roguelike is just a live action film, but a game. Not for me. I'll stick with original Minesweeper. Rockmew said, I'm getting a little bit bored of the roguelike being added to stuff, but maybe real lovers of these games will be excited for a revamp. Ozone, your thoughts on this?
I could tell almost instantaneously, like before we'd even watched the trailer, I thought to myself, this is going to be a roguelike. It's like, it's obviously going to be a roguelike. I think since the success of like Balatro, basically everyone is trying to capitalize on that roguelike market. I love roguelike games. I've recently been playing Slay the Spire 2, which is kind of a roguelike, absolutely fantastic. I'll be honest, I think maybe Minesweeper is slightly before my time. I'm on the younger side of things, but I definitely give that a try. Like, that looks fun. I didn't know how to play poker until I played Balatro. So, and I love Balatro. That's such a fun game. So I really do think that looks like a lot of fun. But I do agree with, like, there is maybe a sort of what's the word? Like the roguelike genre is getting a bit overpopulated at the moment. It's getting a bit overdone, oversaturated, maybe. So I do think that, like, it feels like people are just thinking, what can I turn into a roguelike next? I'd like, maybe next it'll be painting or something like that. But I don't know. But it still looks a lot of fun. So I'd give that a try.
Yeah,
still.
That sounds good. Do you know what? I would give this a try because I think it's going to be one of those things that would be quite fun. I did play Minesweeper back in the day, so anyone who didn't have Windows 95 before that, you're not going to know what we're talking about. But there you go. So let's see what scores. Chat, get your scores in. What do you think that this Infinite Sweeper got? Let's have a look at the scores coming in. Danka 6.5. Chloe says a 6. Gozzo 6.5. Brian a 7. Bondi a 7. Gilfly 6.5. Everyone's kind of going around there 6.5, so maybe this isn't their kind of thing. Kindred 6.5. Flame a 7. Ash, good to have you in here. First time. Fully on board with this one. 8 out of 10. Nice one, Ash. Missed the game again, says iQuail. He's busy modding, so a 7. I love a bit of Minesweeper, but it was a great one released last year for the Amiga. Rocknews says 6.5. Retro Shazar says 7.5. Ozone, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I think I'm also going to go for an 8 on that one.
Going for an 8 for this one. Okay, cool. Dave, what say you?
I'm going to go 7.5.
7.5, a little bit lower. So quite mixed. We're getting everything from sort of 6 all the way up to 8, 8.5. So, folks, last chance. This is Infinity Sweeper, which came out last Thursday on PC. As we said, it's literally about, how much is it? It's about, let's find the thing now. It's £6.39 right now, if you want to get it. That's cheap as chips right now. So, it's not 6.7, no, Rock Muse. No, it's not 6.7. Jesus Christ.
I think I show my age by laughing at that a little bit.
I mean, we do still make this joke, even though me and Dave are old as dust, but we make this joke frequently. So we're Unfortunately, me and Dave are fast approaching 50.
Don't say it. I try to forget about that.
Yeah, I know. We'll try and do it. We've got a couple more years. We'll be all right. But yeah, that's maybe when we retire. I can tell you, I introduced the 6-7 joke because Ozone mentions it. I don't believe you, Dave. Gotham says they don't look a day over 25. Well, that's very kind of you saying. What was the answer?
On the camera.
Well, I know. I could tell you what the answer is. This got a 6.5 out of 10 from the critics. So maybe the critics weren't as enamored with it. I think people who love Minesweeper will love this. Honestly, I think. So if Ash is well up for that, Ozone, you would give it a go. I think you're right with what you're saying with your scores. But I wonder if a lot of the critics were people who never probably experienced Minesweeper originally. So maybe that's why. Or if they didn't like it, then they probably wouldn't warm to this. So there you go. Let's see who got it right. So we have got Rock Muse. Congratulations, you got it right. Kindred, you got it right. Gilfly, well done, you got it right. Gozo and Danker. So there you go. I don't think anyone's 4 for 4, as I can tell. I think one's caught Gozo out. I think one's caught Danker out. I think. Oh, no, Danker is 4 for 4. Holy shit. Okay, my apologies. He is 4 for 4. So that means Gozo's 3 for 4. And then we've got a couple of people on 1 or 2. There you go. There you go. And please do go follow these people. They're getting the shout outs in the chat. They come and watch this show every Tuesday when we're live. Go give them a follow. Go watch them. They support us. Go support them. We greatly appreciate it. There you go. There you go. Let's move on to some more gaming news. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Timeless. Because I felt like doing a shameless plug. Why the fuck not? So a couple of news stories. All about big companies being disappointed with other companies. So, the Bank of America decided to get its dollars worth in the whole GTA 6 conversation, because the Bank of America stated last week that they in their thoughts, in their opinion, that GTA 6, when it releases in 2037, because we know it ain't coming out in November, should be about $80. And they said, why? People are like, why is that, when they're talking about, oh, it could be $100 game, or it could be less. And they said the reason being is that video games have been 60, 70 quid. And we said this on the show the other week, for about 10 years. There's been some games like creeping up 50, 60 quid is, for a long time now. It's crept up to 70 quid, as we've seen over the last year or two. But if they sell it at 70, technically, the gaming market can't go anywhere. It can't go up. It will kind of stay there for the next couple of years. If they go to 80, it gives other gaming companies opportunity to shift their prices up as well. Now, we've already seen that Mario Kart World was the most expensive Switch game so far, but that means it's going to shift everything up. I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. I know the Bank of America probably want to make more money out of this. But I get their point. That has been quite stagnant. I know we are seeing games getting more and more expensive. But it is kind of I'm just glad they said, 100 quid should be the new standard, because I just think that's I just couldn't even bring myself to pay 100 quid for GTA 6. Mainly because I don't give two shits about it, but this is the other thing. If I do end up having to review it or cover it, I'm like, I can't get a copy of it. I ain't paying out 100 quid for that. So there you go. Bondi says, even if GTA was £100, it's not a caveat for games to match it, as a lot of games are released, not finished, are not AAA games. Ubisoft. Skull and Bones there. They're quadruple A game. Pile of shit. Before we move on to the next news story, Dave, Ozone, your opinions on that? Do we think the Bank of America are right saying it should be 80 because it allows gaming companies to push the prices up?
I hope not. Yeah, there is a point where, there's still always like a limit, isn't to what you're willing to spend on something. I think like if games start getting 80 or higher, I really just feel like way too much to pay for a game. And it is going to be dependent on the game as well. Whether you would pay that much anyway. I mean, was it last year? I think Microsoft were briefly talking about selling the Outer Worlds 2 for $80. And that was a game that didn't really seem like it's even worth 50, quite fucking honestly. So they quickly dropped it down to 70. As I say, it still wasn't overpriced for what it was.
Fair enough.
So I think probably GTA 6 is probably like the one thing that could probably get away with being, that bit more expensive than others, just because it's so overhyped and people do love GTA. But a lot of other stuff, probably people would just be like, nah, I'll wait for a sale. Because it just hits a point where it's like, well, I'm not paying that much. If games ever got to £100, at launch, stuff it, wait for a sale.
Yeah.
Simply couldn't justify spending that much on a game with all the other stuff that you have to pay for these days.
I'd agree with
pricing people out.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There'd be stuff I'd just go. So obviously, as I've said on this show before, I don't always get sent all the games to me free. I'm very fortunate that I get the majority of them, and I'm very appreciative of that. But there's times when I do have to put my hand in my pocket and buy the games so that we can do the streams to cover it and talk about it on the shows and stuff. But if games start being £100, I'll just go, fuck it, I'm not going to cover that game. I'm not going to stream it because what's the point? Yeah. See, rock music I can't afford. Like it's getting very expensive. I honestly don't think GTA 6 will be more expensive than any other big AAA game. Both GTA 4 and 5 were the same price as everything else. I don't see any other reason apart from greed to make this one more expensive. There will be an early access deluxe edition for more than £100. I get that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
There's always those deluxe editions with
we get limited stuff and early access. People want that. That's great. Got no problem with that. You get collectible figurines, T-shirts, whatever. Fine, go for it. But yeah, I totally agree with that. But it shouldn't be. The CEO of Take-Two has said GTA will be reasonably priced in at £70. He hinted, yeah. And this is something he said a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about this on the show. But look at the deluxe edition. People say silly money for that. I know. We've seen ones 150, 250, like that.
I mean, they don't really need to, put the price up for it because, the online will come out, a little bit after the launch. And if that is as good and as popular as the GTA 5 multiplayer, well, that'll just keep paying dividends for years, won't it?
Yeah.
Probably like 20 years until GTA 7 comes out.
Yeah.
They can just milk the multiplayer of GTA 6.
Yeah.
I think people might buy it just for the strip club, to be honest with you. That was my plan anyway. But either way, it's going to make shit tons of money. It's going to be maybe the best-selling game of all time. It's probably the most anticipated game of all time at the very least.
Yeah. It needs to be because it's already over the billion mark, isn't it? From what they've said.
Is it?
Yeah. They haven't really said a proper price. The hints are that it's
gone over a billion
on it. Yeah,
I don't think
you look at it in those trailers and it looks like he's had a shitload of money spent on it.
I don't think they care how much money they throw at it. They know that it's going to make that back. Because it's probably the most talked about game of all time. It's going to release on every single platform. It's been, when did the original come out? Was it not original, GTA 5, sorry. That came out, was it 2012?
2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been spoken about since maybe 2015,
Thanks, God.
It's gonna be enormous. It's gonna be the biggest game. If it comes out this year, it'll be the biggest game this year. I think that they really need to actually just get it out because otherwise people will. I don't think they'll lose interest, but they'll get pissed off by it. If they keep pushing it down the pipeline further and further, and then throwing like an £100 price tag on it, people are going to be rattled by that. Like they could. The issue is they've got almost a monopoly over it. They could sell it for £50 and sell 5 billion copies of it, or they could sell it for £150 and sell 2 billion copies of it. It's whatever they price it as, people are gonna buy it, and they'll almost definitely, I'd probably on launch be digital deluxe, standard, and that will push right up to well, probably 150 to 200 pounds for like the highest tier of the game. But yeah, no, it's going to make so much money.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. Next bit of story, which is not GTA Link, but is adjacent Link, because Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick, who we've talked about on this show many a time, has said he is disappointed with the progress of not GTA 6, BioShock 4. He's basically said that he's very disappointed that we've not seen it yet or heard anything from it. It was originally announced back in 2019 that a company called Cloud Chamber were taking on BioShock 4. We have no release date, and we also have had no news. Also, Cloud Chamber about 2 years ago had a massive reshuffling for staff to work on it. And I remember us talking about it on this show because it was like, is BioShock 4 going to be in trouble now? But it's interesting because you kind of go, well, where is it? And he says he's disappointed. I'll tell you what I'm disappointed in. Ken Levine, Judas game. Now, everyone knows that Ken Levine was dealt with System Shock, BioShock, the original games. A couple of years ago, we had a really good trailer. We even talked about it when it was supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out 2 years ago. It was also supposed to come out last year. Then no one's even mentioned it this year. So that's the one I'm disappointed in. So do we think that Strauss has the right to be disappointed? I do love BioShock. I love the BioShock games. But is there another game that we are disappointed by because we've been given no information? It's not come out. I'll ask the chat and I'll ask Dave and Ozone. Dave, you can kick things off. There's a game that you are disappointed because it's not out yet.
Oh, well, I mean, been waiting that long for GTA 6. That's what I've been disappointed with for years. Waiting around for that one. But yeah, I mean, BioShock 4, I can't say I'm disappointed that I haven't heard much of that, because I kind of felt that, the sort of BioShock story got wrapped up pretty well with BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
Especially with its DLC, because that revisited Rapture from the first couple of games. So I felt that's what they've wrapped all that up. So I don't know what they're going to be planning to do with BioShock 4. That it's going to somehow try to continue on with the sort of story from that, or try and do something new. Yeah, as you say, we've had bugger all details of it. Clearly, the dev team have had to reset, I think, at least once along the way, and they're so having trouble with it. So perhaps I don't even quite know what they want to do with it. I mean, that one could still be years away. Yeah. I don't know. When they eventually show something, I'll have a look at it, but I can't say I'm that disappointed in it. Not been out at the moment.
Brian, good night. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Ozone, game that you're disappointed in because it hasn't come out yet?
Oh, it's whilst there's been like no official announcement, it's got to be like a 3D Mario game. Odyssey came out as of next year. It would have been 10 years ago since Odyssey released. And like, whilst there's been no official announcement, that they're working on Mario. They're always working on Mario. We waited, I think it was about 11 years since Mario Kart 8 came out that we waited for Mario Kart World. And then Mario Kart World is great, maybe slightly bare bones at points. So I guess the worry is that a new 3D Mario game will come out and it will be a bit lackluster. But no, I think, whatever they've got in the tank right now, I'm hoping it's going to be good and announced this year. I'm praying that it's announced this year, to be honest with you.
So, we've just been hit with a raid and some subs. And it's really funny because we've just been raided by JL. Sorry, you. It says, came straight into ads. There you go. Thank you so much for the raid, JL. Greatly appreciate it. And Guildfly, thank you for the Prime sub. Greatly appreciate it. So can we get shout outs for JL and Guild? Greatly appreciate it. I hope you had a good stream. There's 10 seconds left. He probably can't hear me. So I'm going to wait until the ads have finished in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome in, JL. Sorry, you. Good to have you here, mate. Thank you so much for that raid. Greatly appreciate it. And again, Guildfly, thank you very much for that sub. And Bondi has just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. That's gone to Johnny Beard. Hello, the Knitter. It's gone to Flame, who's in chat right now, Belarus, and Gotham, who's in chat. Thank you very much, Bondi. It now means we've got a hype train going. There you go. Choo choo. I ain't going to do the sound effect because it'd be weird. Well, fuck it. Do you know what? Why not?
Very nice.
And can you believe it or not, that train was delayed for 25 minutes. There you go. So there you go. Those who've just joined us, this is Tuesday Night Gaming Chat, where we talk about all the latest gaming news, views. My co-host knows the most, Mr. David Jones, and our guest this evening, Ozone, had just been discussing games that we're disappointed in that haven't come out yet. Dandiest Chad, hello, mate. What the bloody hell is going on here? Lots going. Good to see you, Sam. Good to see you. Well, since we've just done this, I noticed that Bondi did say Division 3. I quite rightly say they had that multiplayer Division game, got scrapped. Then they brought out a multiplayer mobile game, which everyone thought was, oh, is that going to be Division 3? Turns out it's set around the same time as the first game. So we still haven't got the Division 3 yet. So that's a good one from Ubisoft that's still not there. So yes, disappointing. As you're all here, we might as well do the shameless plug. For those who don't know, me, Dave in chat, and Jesse, who's currently on holiday, run a bloody video game thing, and we've been doing it for 5 years. Don't ask why. I think we're mental. But it's called Timeless or something or other, and it's apparently a thing that you can go to and buy tickets. So I'm going to play this trailer because apparently this will make sense. There you go, folks. That is Timeless. I'm going to bring up the screen because we have had some updates. Some of you may not have seen, but Timeless tickets are now on sale, including VIP and evening. Let me show you what we've got for you this year so far, because Timeless Gaming Convention is back in Liverpool for its 5th year on August the 12th. If you buy your VIP tickets, we're also doing a VIP night where all content creators and VIPs and our special guests get together, and we've announced that the wonderful Ashens is our special guest speaker for the VIP night, as well as some other things that will be going on. We have announced lots of stuff so far, all the tickets on sale, VIP tickets, standard tickets, family tickets. We've got a couple of new things. If you're a content creator and you want to come to Timeless and you want to do some coverage for us, content creator passes are now live until end of June. You apply, there are 100 passes up for grabs. If you're lucky enough to get it, you get to come along to the VIP night and the full day, and you get in early. All we expect you to do is do a bit of coverage and some social media posts for some free tickets. That's not bad, is it? But we have also announced a load of other things. We have announced our first sponsor for Timeless, brand new shop that's opening up. Dyson Decks is our first official partner. They are opening up very, very soon. They are sponsoring Timeless. We want to say a big thank you to them for doing so. You can check out more information on the website. But we've got our first set of indie games also announced, as we have a selection of indie games that will be at the show. The wonderful Astroburn that I got to play at London Games Festival is going to be at the show. It's brilliant. If you like R-type shooters, it's fantastic. It's really, really well made. Go check out the trailer there. And a brand new game called The Grand Slamboree is also going to be, it's a 2-day platform fighter. I'm going to go check that out. That's going to be there. We also announced Phantom Cat Creations, a brand new exhibitor, first time at Timeless. We'll be there doing lots of wonderful creations with badges, key rings, and numerous other things for some of your games there. We've also got the full list of exhibitors here, as we have announced. The Gamer Guide will be back partnering with us because they are doing our content creators, and they will be giving away lots of fantastic prizes as they always do. Creftu Hendy Crafts and Events are back with us. Miss Frog. We've got Light Gun Retro Gaming for all your plushies, games, and numerous other stuff. And the Gaming News Agent is back with a good selection of board games, gaming books, gaming magazines. And if you are a streamer and you need some decent clothing for your streams and your merch, Gamer Clothing are back. And they will be doing something special for VIPs and creators. Because last year they did some very special keychains that were limited edition that you could buy from their stand. Not going to tell you what they're doing this year, but they are doing something really, really cool. So you can get some special merch just from them. Talking of merch, our merch is now live for this year. If you want to get it, it's now available. The hats, the hoodies are pretty damn awesome. I've got mine here. This is the design on the back for this year. They're pretty freaking awesome. You can get them. You can buy them for there. But if you buy a VIP ticket, you get your T-shirt for free. Or you can pay half price for a hoodie. So you're only paying 30 quid for a hoodie, which is not too bad at all. Also announced, we've got our cosplay competition back with a wonderful Jinx and a wonderful judges, Zara, Aries, and last year's winner, Another Planet TV. We've also got the wonderful Steve and Sam from Go 8-Bit. Go 8-Bit was a TV show, gaming TV show on Dave, which ran for 3 seasons. They were the writers of the show, and they were the team captains. They're going to be with us. And our evening entertainment, as mentioned, is Wi-Fi Wars, which is being run by Steve. It's an interactive comedy show. If you've never done it, it's going to be amazing. You need a separate ticket for that. That is just £10. Normally costs £20 at any show you go to. We're paying for half of it. You only have to pay a tenner to join in. But also announced we're doing karaoke and beer pong in the arcade after 9 o'clock till midnight, because the arcade's open till midnight. The whole arcade is free for the whole day. But you can go and get some gaming-related cocktails while we play beer pong or sing some karaoke. And some competitions that have been announced. Marvel versus Capcom will be kicking us off. The Mario Kart World Tournament is always popular. We're doing that. We've announced the Star Fox competition. And every year we have the wonderful Just Dance with our fantastic MZ Lee. More competitions to be announced. Loads of great prizes that you can win. So get your tickets now. As I've said, VIP tickets start from 50 quid, which includes the night before, plus a goodie bag, plus a load of other stuff, plus you're getting early. Standard tickets for the day, you're getting from 11 o'clock to 20 quid. A family ticket, 2 adults, 2 kids, is 50 quid. Your Wi-Fi Wars ticket is a tenner. Child's tickets, kids under 5 go free. If they're 6 to the age of 17, it's a tenner. Disability concession is 16 quid because there's one floor of the arcade that you can't reach, so we knock a couple of quid off. If you've got a carer, we can get you a carer's ticket as well. And if you want to come in at 5 o'clock onwards, you miss most of the content because we've got loads of other panels, loads of other competitions to announce. You can get in from 5 o'clock. You miss most of the good stuff, but you can get into the arcade and see all the competitions for 13 quid. And as I said, if you've already got a ticket, but you want to upgrade for an extra 30 quid, there's a VIP ticket there. So do it now, folks. You won't regret it. Timeless is absolutely massive. It's our 5th year. This is going to be fantastic. So let's have a look at that. Thank you so much. Let's see what people are saying in chat, because I missed a load of shit when we were there. Curses to Dave, apparently. It's pretty much... I'm not going to make it for the VIP night, as I will be travelling. Bless you. VIP night runs 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock, by the way. Dave is very important because he's my secretary. There you go. There you go. Thank you to everyone who did the hype train as well. Those emotes have been sent out. But there you go. It's going to be great. More announcements coming soon at the end of the month hopefully with one of the big panels. Fingers crossed. We were told we should be allowed to announce it by the end of May. Fingers crossed. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully we don't disappoint. I've put a lot of effort into this one, so fingers crossed you'll like it. Anyway, let's crack on with the show. If anyone needs tickets, !timeless in the chat. Link is there. Let's move on to our next game. A game that critics are loving, but is getting stripped to shit on social media. It's been very divisive. It's been very controversial. And people are not quite sure whether the term game should even be used. This came out last Thursday on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, PC, and is on Game Pass. And this is Mixtape.
Tonight, we're invited to Camille Cole's beach party. It's the tits, it's the jam. Everyone's gonna be there. College kids, rich kids, athletes, horse girls, skaters. It's teenage high society. Right now, we have no booze, but we do have some leads. We'll start at my house, then on to Cassandra's, free drinks at our secret hideout, then arrive beachside at 9:45 p.m.
No way.
I did it last time.
I look like a child. I can't hand over money with these little hands. Slater, you do it. You're the one with the mustache. Go eat it!
You are expelled, Stacy Rocker.
If I find you at that party, and I will find that party, you'll spend 24 hours in detention. I promise you that.
What are we gonna do? What's demanded of us? It's the cops.
Be chill, it's chill.
Are they gone?
This year, I want to ride a flaming stallion of delinquency.
Most of the time, I'm wondering if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you know? To have the optimal teenage experience.
The teenage experience is unobtainable.
Trio of young adults have driven a shopping cart onto the island.
Okay, something's happening. Almost. Woo! Back in business, baby!
Loud sounds everything.
Holy
So this is pretty much out on everything. Price wise, it's down to £14.39 on PC. It's $13.94 on PS Plus, $14.39 on Xbox. It's also free on Game Pass right now, and it's $14.39 on Switch 2 as well. I'm going to let Dave talk about this because Dave, you've played this, so I'm going to
Yeah,
start.
I played it over the weekend and finished it. It's about 3-ish hours long. It's not a long game at all. But what it is, it's like a sort of coming of age story. You got a group of 3 friends who are getting ready to spend their last night together before one of them goes off to New York to pursue a job. Another one's going off to college, and they're the day that you're spending with them. They're sort of reminiscing about various other bits during like their last few years of being teenagers, and it's all set to like various classic sort of tracks like I mentioned. Smashing Pumpkins was there and like Joy Division. So you do use the term sort of game loosely with this one, because if you feel like commented in the chat, you can just like put the controller down. You haven't really got to do a huge amount. It is lightly interactive, which it is. It's a bit more like watching a movie with a few sort of interactive segments. Stuff will be happening. You can do stuff. You can when you see the bit where the characters are on the shopping trolley. Yeah, you can move the shopping trolley around, spin it around as the music's playing. It's just kind of fun doing that, but there's no real challenge to it. There's no death in the game, as it were. If you do bump it, you shouldn't, it just kind of rewinds you and lets you carry on. So you can't fail the game. There's a few bits where you can wander around like bedrooms or other areas, and like look at stuff and talk to characters. But that's kind of like as much as you get out of it. But it's still quite a fun sort of game to play through. It's a good story there. I like the characters and good comedic moments to it. It's probably, if you like say movies by John Hughes, he did like a lot of good like teenage high school movies way back in the day. It's probably kind of got that sort of feel to it, to be honest. It's not particularly expensive, and it is on Game Pass where I played it. So you've already got Game Pass, not going to cost you anything extra to try it. It is just kind of like a good experience that you can enjoy over an afternoon. So as I say, it's about 3-ish hours, but don't go into it expecting like a big deep game with lots of like puzzle solving or anything like that, because it is not that. That's not what it's trying to be. Which I think is where some of the discourse comes up, because a lot of critics obviously scored it pretty well. But by scoring it, with what they've scored, it kind of puts it into the realm of like other games, and probably invites comparisons that don't do this game any particular favors then. But it's just really about setting expectations for this one. It is just a fun experience. I really liked it. I'd recommend people play it. If you've got Game Pass, give it a go. It's cool.
I'll say my piece in a bit, but I'll just firstly I'll say good evening to Big Jesse, Hannah, Big Fuzzy Panda, and Lorraine, who've all joined us while we've been chatting. I know Big Fuzzy Panda was here earlier, but I didn't properly say hello. So there you go. Ozone, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't really know. It kind of when I was watching the trailer, if you'd have told me that was a trailer for a upcoming movie, I would have believed you. I can't imagine that in a gameplay environment. Like story-wise, it looks good. It looks solid. It looks like it'd be fun. But it just, with games like Dispatch, which came out last year, like that's a very story-heavy. You're basically watching a movie as you're playing. But that game was fantastic, So maybe it's one of those ones where I'd have to play it to sort of understand it. And is it like a bit of a telltale sort of you make decisions and things, or is it just you kind of watch it happen?
You kind of watch it happen. There's no real decisions to make. The characters are just doing stuff. It's like you can walk around a few environments like the bedrooms and just stuff to look at.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing makes a decision or anything. It's just a story that plays through.
And yeah, I was going to say, because Rock Muse asked the question, is there different endings? I'm guessing the answer is no.
Nope.
Yeah, it feels like one of those games that would really really sort of benefit from being able to have an influence on the story itself, because I don't really want to feel like a passenger to the game. Like I want to feel like I'm interacting with that game world, interacting with and like having control over what's going on, rather than just I could sit down and watch that in a cinema happily, but I'm not sure.
JL said, I think it's really interesting to see developers and such using the medium of gaming for something like this to create a sort of interactive fiction. Feels like a game comes along every few years that creates some sort of discourse for what is a game. Your visual novels have done, like Gone Home did, and now this. I think the problem with Gone Home was, I really enjoyed Gone Home. That was more of a game than this is. Because at least you had to go around and open things and find things. There's not much game. This is where we're at with this game, right? They're classing this as a game. There have been some outlets that have praised this and put this as high as games such as Elden Ring, Octopath Traveler, games that got Disco Elysium, games that got 10 out of 10. I don't think this deserves this, right? But I also don't think it deserves the shit that it's getting online, because TikTokers, creators, Instagrammers are basically saying, this is a piece of fucking shit. I don't think that's right. I think what it should have been sold as an interactive adventure. It should not be sold as a game. It is not a game. It is clearly not a game. Right? It's a very good piece of art. There you go. It needs to be viewed as art, as Rock Muse has just said. I think it's a great piece of nostalgia for people that like 80s and 90s music, because it's got obviously 80s and 90s music in there. But it is not a game. And this is what's divided people. And because it's been classed as a game, some reviewers are jumping on the bandwagon and saying, this is the best thing of the year. And if God help me, this wins Game of the Year at the Game Awards, I will go find Jeff Keighley and punch him personally.
If it wins now.
Yeah. But say if it got like best art direction or something, I could go with that. I do like Uncle Jeff, by the way. He's all right. He's all right in my eyes. But it's not a game. And this is what's got people fired. But it's not a piece of shit either. And that's I think that's annoyed me more than the fact about this whole thing of, oh, it doesn't deserve this. A lot of people on social media also took issue with people calling it a big step for indie games, even though it wasn't. Yeah, it has been funded by quite a few rich people. So it's not really, it's indie, but it's not indie. It's kind of like indie game style because it's been put through Annapurna Interactive that does a lot of indie games, but the people who made it had a vast amount of financial backing. We're talking like a lot of money thrown at this. Okay, so they're very fortunate because of their backgrounds. So there you go. Anyway, let's see what people are saying. Now, remember, we're going on the critic scores, so this is going to be an interesting one. Let's see what people are saying. Danker, 8.5. Gilfly, 9. Bondi, 7.5. Big Fuzzy Panda, 8. Chloe, 8. Gotham, going to say 9. Gozo, 8.5. Dave saying a 9. Let's scroll back down. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I'm going to go with a 9.
Going with a 9. Kindred said 8.5. Flame saying 7. Retro Shazar saying 8. Ozone?
I think I'm going to go for an 8.5 on this one.
Okay, all right. Folks, this is Mixtape, which came out on Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2 and PC, and is available on Game Pass. If there are no more scores in the chat, I can tell you, on average, this game that is not a game is an interactive adventure. Got a 9.5.
That's quite crazy.
I don't know how I feel about that. The biggest one that everyone's having a go at. Now, it's funny that 2 weeks ago, everyone was having a go at IGN for giving Mouse PI a really shit score. They gave this a 10 out of 10. And now IGN are getting shit for giving it a high score. IGN can't get a break.
I'm sure it's a great story, but like it's about as interactive as reading a book. You know, technically you're doing something. You know, you're reading the words but you're not doing anything. You're just, but like that's not to disparage the game whatsoever. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's very enjoyable, but it's like it's not a game.
Yeah. Like I said personally, I love it because of the story, music, and that's it.
That's what I'd say as well. I really enjoyed it. Great story, great music. Love the characters and the dialogue. I say it's worth playing because it's only like 3 and a bit hours.
Yeah, but
I think those high scores just unfortunately, as I say, give you some unfair expectations because if it's up there, there's lots of like Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Elden Ring. You know, this is nothing like those, not even in the slightest bit. It's still good at what it does, but it just. I think most people think it's going to be something way, way, way more.
And then it's not.
When it gets that high score.
So there you go. I will give this a try. I don't know whether I will stream this. I know if I stream it, I'm probably going to get copyright strikes.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't really because there's no streamer mode.
Yeah, but saying that, I get copyright strikes every time I do fucking Just Dance, and then I appeal it, and they let me off. So fuck it, I might just do it for shits and giggles. How is that higher than Mouse PI, which was excellent? Yeah, Kindred said Mouse PI is game of the year so far. I enjoyed Mouse PI. I haven't finished it, but I'm enjoying it. I'm not sure that should matter if it's a game or not, though. If you finish it and you feel like you had a 9.5 experience, you do it whether it was because of gameplay or story. So this is the thing. If I play it and I love it, I'm going to probably speak very highly of it. But I know for a fact it ain't getting into my fucking top 15 games of the year because it's not a fucking game. Easily. I might give it a special mention, but it ain't going to get into the top 15 games of the year. If Dave decides he wants to put it in, that is fine. But it ain't going in mine because it ain't a fucking game. But there you go. Games are individual XC, yeah. I probably will live stream it just for shits and giggles, Gozzo. I've got to the point now that every time Twitch put a slap wrist on me, I just go, fuck it, and they appeal it, and I get let off. So let's really push our luck, shall we? It's sold as a game, so it's a game. End of. How much is it?
The NES was sold as a toy, technically, so it's how.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
You know,
that's a good shout. How much is it? It's free on Game Pass. How much? I've lost. To be honest, I've lost the chat, so I don't know if Kindred's got it. He can drop that in again. I'm calling it a night there. Thank you, Bondi. Thank you all. Have a good evening. Take care, mate. Thank you. Yeah, but if Dave sold you a donut with a label on it saying it's a biscuit, which is it? It's a donut biscuit. Let's go on to our next game. Another game that I've been sent this week. I have no idea when I'm going to be able to stream this. This came out on Thursday. I'm sport for choice. This came out on Thursday on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. This is Will Follow the Light.
Dad taught me everything about the sea. Lighthouses, sailing. I tried to forget him, but he keeps coming back, asking for forgiveness. But it's so hard to forgive after all those years of ignoring him. But now I'm sailing to find my son, and I'll be better. Dad used to say, go towards the light when you don't know where to go, so I'm going.
Forgiving someone is never easy. It means letting go of the negative emotions of the past and trying to understand their motives. It is a difficult choice, but one that must be made to move forward.
In sight, Molly. Coming closer and we'll make for the harbor.
There you go. That is Will Follow the Light, which came out last Thursday on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Kindred says that it's $16.64 currently on Steam. It's 21 quid on Xbox and 25 quid on PlayStation. Something a little bit more chill, a bit more narrative again. Dave, tell us about this one.
Yes, this is a first-person narrative adventure. I think sometimes these sort of games get called sort of walking simulators, but I think this one looks quite good. Yeah, this one's about a guy called Will. He's a lighthouse keeper, and while he's on one of his sort of solitary sojourns at the lighthouse, he gets a distressing radio message. There's been some sort of disaster at his hometown. His son's gone missing, so he's got to try and make his way back, across the seas, and across abandoned islands, across the snowy mountains, try and get back there, find out what's happened to his son, to his family. I think for what we can see in the trailer, it looks pretty decent. Graphics-wise, especially, looks really nice. Looks quite cool when you're sailing your boat. Looks like they're doing like a good simulation of the waves there. That all looks pretty decent. And it looks quite cool when you're controlling the dogs on the sled as well. So I think it looks like a a pretty decent looking narrative game. So we've got quite a cool little adventure to play through.
Yeah, I like the look of it. It's again something that's been on my radar for quite a long time with press releases, and then I think that's why I got sent a copy just a couple of days ago. So I like the look of it. Ozone, your thoughts on this one?
I mean, yeah, visually that was absolutely stunning. I thought, like, the scene where they were under the northern lights, like sailing their boat. I thought that was incredible. I'm like, it looks like it's quite a story driven, as you said, walking simulator, which is not my typical kind of game, really. I think that it looks fun, don't get me wrong. I quite liked it. Reminded me of the sailing bits a little bit, reminded me of Wind Waker, that sort of just sailing around. I feel like the difficult thing of that game would be the sense of direction that the player would have to have. Yeah, I feel like it'd be very easy to get lost as a player. I guess the whole thing is following the lights, but so hopefully they make that obvious enough. But yeah, I think if it was, I'm not like gameplay wise, it looked quite diverse. Like the bit where you're driving the Huskies, you're doing the boat, kind of walking through the town with the lantern. I think that as long as it isn't too dragged out, I'd say maybe 10 hours is the perfect length for that. And then sort of if it's any longer than that, maybe it's pushing a bit, dragged out. But no, overall I think it does look quite good.
All right, well, let's see what people are saying in chat. Get your scores in now, chat. Danka coming in with a 7. Gozzo sharing too much information. He says 7, didn't see the trailer, went to take a dump.
Thanks for the info.
Yeah. Dave coming in with a 7.5. Ozone, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I think I'm going to go with an 8 on this one.
Going for an 8. Gelfly coming in with a 7.5. Gotham also agreeing with you, saying 8, I reckon. Flame saying 7. Gozzo says you're welcome. I don't think we are, Gozzo. Kindred, 7. Retro Shazar, 8. Rock Muse, 8. Mr. Jones, what say you?
I'm going to go for a 7.
Okay, go for a 7. Folks, this is your last chance. This is Will Follow the Light, which came out on Thursday on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. And the most expensive version is about 25 quid. Takes about 5.5 hours on average to play. 8.5 for query. And Dave also said, I rate this boobs out of 10. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that. Now I want Dave to be right, so Mag has to do another shout out. I feel very welcome, says Jesse. There you go. I can tell you, if there are no more scores in the chat, that this got 7 out of 10. Well done, Dave. Your second one this evening. Well done. Let's see who else said 7. Quite varied scores. Kindred, well done. You got it right. Flame, well done. You got it right. Danka, you got it right. And Gozzo. I think Danka is still in the lead, even though he got the last one wrong. Dave, how would you like your shout out?
You can do some spinning on your chair, mate.
Oh, why not? Spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record player. Right round, 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 right round. There you go. The exact words. Maybe. Extended edition.
Very nice.
There you go. And Dave in chat goes, ow, my ears. There you go. Spinny spins indeed. That was a nice one. Thank you. Man displays. Okay, moving on to another piece of news. This is one I want to say thank you to chat, because it was chat that sent this in last night. I think it was Kindred, Danka, and iQuail. I think I'm going to credit all of you for this, because we were talking about games being leaked. Now, there's a game that's come out today that I'm going to be covering on Thursday, which I went to the preview event for, as I keep showing this off, because I was at Directive 8020 a couple of weeks ago. That got leaked. But another game, we were talking about this last night, another game got leaked. over the weekend. And that is a game that comes out next week, which is Forza Horizon 6. It got leaks on Steam over the weekend. Basically, there was an unencrypted Steam preload of 155 gigabytes sent from Microsoft on Steam. What that basically means is it's there ready for when people are ready to pre-order it or buy it. They pre-order it, it sits there, and on the day of release, whether they've paid for early access or not, it unlocks, you get the game, and you can play. However, they didn't do the correct thing, did they? It was encrypted, which meant that people could get copies of it and could get their hands on it. So therefore, it's been sent around to numerous pirating sites, which means that you could actually play it 9 days early or 4 days early if you ordered the early access. This is Microsoft's fault. Microsoft have not commented on this yet, but they have stated like that if people are playing it, that it could actually put a lock on your console, your PC, and numerous other things. But it feels that it is Microsoft's fault. So really, shouldn't they be apologizing rather than trying to hard lock people out that are playing the game early when they're the ones that stupidly didn't do what they were supposed to do? I'd like to know people's thoughts on this.
Well, I was reading an update on Eurogamer earlier, and it was saying that it was confirmed that it wasn't due to a preload issue, but it was saying that it was perhaps like a reviewer or someone who's got hold of like an early build. But then what they've done to like release it, I'm not sure. But this was just on Eurogamer earlier that I was reading that, because it would have been pretty stupid to do an encrypted preload. Yeah, that would be very, very stupid. If it's someone else who's just leaked it, someone who's been given like a proper copy for review purposes, and that is a bit off. Hopefully they'll find whoever that is and deal with them. But yeah, you mentioned that about some people getting banned. I think there was one streamer that I read about. He was showing off like the game running.
Yeah,
like, he didn't like put a watermark over his like gamer tag, so then they just like instantly banned him. Banned his gamer tag, banned him. I think there's like a hardware ban or something like that. I think he saw like a ban come up for like a ridiculous length of time. Probably the length of time until like the sun implodes and kills us all. You can't play Forza again until that point. But that's the least of your problems at that point in time, anyway.
Yeah. If that's the case and that's what's happened, then it's more serious. I think if Microsoft had messed up and people just got it, that's it. They used to brick the consoles. Yeah, Nintendo did that a lot, didn't they?
Yeah, proper hardware ban.
But we'll see. But it is only out next week. It comes out next Tuesday. Unless you've got early access, which comes out, I think, Friday.
Yeah, I think it is the 15th for early access.
Yeah, so literally
all weekend. And you're right, it's Tuesday for the main release.
Yeah. And we will be playing it on this stream Wednesday next week. Highly likely, we might be talking about it on the show next week, or we might be talking about the week after. We haven't decided yet. We'll see what comes up when the reviews come up. I think the reviews will drop early, so there's a high chance we will talk about this.
I would think so. It should be out before the early access, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think it'll happen. So it'll probably be our last game of the night, highly likely. So there you go. Moving on to our last couple of games, and then we're going to have a look at the retail charts. This game was being showcased at DreamHack at the NEC. I remember because Secret Mode were there and turned around to Rock News, who was with me at the time, and said, "Would you like to play Everything is Crab?" And she went, "No." So this came out on PC on Friday. This is Everything is Crab.
In the frozen wilderness, the polar bear is an apex hunter. Its sense of smell almost unmatched. Any intelligent creature would do well to avoid them. Yet, survival in this ecosystem is about more than predator and prey. Every creature here has its place. Some hide, some steal, and others simply want some peace and quiet. For Darwin, survival means adaptation. Every meal, every encounter shapes the creature they become. Whilst Darwin has choice over their destiny, curiously, all other creatures Darwin will encounter follow the same evolutionary path. Given enough time, everything becomes crab. But carcinization is more than a pattern. It is evolution's preferred solution, and the creatures that embrace it grow formidable. Fortunately, even the smallest creature can challenge giants and win.
So, everything is crab. Or as Rockmuse said, no, not interested in this game. Tell us a little bit more about this, Dave.
So this is another roguelike game. This one you are playing as a little organism at the start of each run, and you basically have to start evolving yourself. So you'll be killing other creatures, eating them, and then getting the choice of how you want to evolve. So I think it gives you like 3 choices, and whatever you pick will, change how your creature, evolves. Will they become a better predator? Will they become better at escaping other ones, surviving for longer, etc. I think there's going to be quite a lot of different ways you can take the creature, and then eventually you'll die 'cause it's a roguelike, and then you can start again and perhaps go down a different route. See how it goes. I think it looks all right. The graphics are nothing particularly amazing to look at, but they get the job done for what it's doing. I was looking on its Steam page. It's got a roadmap where it's mentioned there's some Twitch integrations coming soon. So
nice.
Depending on what those are, that might be quite fun to say stream with your audience watching. Maybe they can get involved and help you improve your creature or do stuff to hinder you. Stuff like that could be quite good fun. For me though, I can't say I'd bother playing it. I think I'd get a little bit bored of it because I can't really see what else you can do. Yes, you get to evolve your creature each time, but sure, that'll get a little bit boring fairly quickly. I don't know, not for me, but probably a few people will get something out of this.
Yeah, I've got no interest in this. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of people
in from you as well.
Yeah, a lot of people in chat.
Rock news on the know.
Yeah, I think because it was in the indie game alley, and it was just one of those games. I was like, I know I'm never going to play this, and I looked at it, I could see it. I knew Rockmuse wasn't interested, but I played lots of cool games that were there. But I can see lots of people are going to love this. Ozone, your thoughts on this?
I'm gonna be honest. I thought that looked absolutely awesome. To be honest with you, I really like that concept. I think it was Dave said it's not an original concept by no means. And again, it's another roguelike, but again, as I mentioned previously, I'm a sucker for a roguelike, and I really, really like that idea of there's so many different combinations. Like every time you play it, you're going to end up as a weird, different, fucked up creature, and that's incredible. And it kind of it goes back to that joke of it was many years ago now. I say many years ago, probably about 5 years ago, but there was like a internet joke where it was like at the end of every evolutionary line, you basically end up as a crab at the end of every evolutionary line, which I really like that. That's kind of a joke that they've played on. But no, I think that looks fantastic. Yeah.
Cool. There we go. This is £7 down to £6.29 at the moment on Steam. So again, absolute bargain. Thank you, Kindred. Let's see what people are saying with scores. Let's go straight to the scores. We've got Danker 7.5, Gozo 7.5, got Gilfly 8, Rockmuse 7, Chloe 7. Excellent price point for the amount of content you will get out of it. Okay, so if I stream my first game, has to be crap by the sounds of it. So now Rockmuse wants to play it. Flame. Oh, we've lost Dave. He just disappeared into the ether. Flame is a 7. There you go. Chloe's cheating. If the concept where many species are similar to crabs end or becoming most exactly like crabs, because evolutionary they are just superior in the environment. Kindred 7.5. Retro Cesar 8. He's back. Hey, there he is.
There, just a little momentary Wi-Fi blip.
Yeah, you just disappeared and now you're back, so it's all good. Gotham 8, Let's go for scores. Dave, what do you reckon for this one?
I'll go for a 7.5.
7.5. Ozone?
I think I'm going to go low. I think I'm going to go for a 6.5.
6.5. Okay. 6.5, 7.5. Okay. Last chance. Dave is saying 7 there. There you go. This is Everything is Crab, which came out on Friday on PC. And I can tell you that this got 7.5.
Hey.
So there you go. Well done, Dave. Your third one tonight. There you go. Also, we have got the following people. Kindred, well done. And I think it's Danker and Gozzo again. It is. It's just the three of you. While they're getting shout outs, Dave, how would you like your next shout out?
You could do your walk on from the side.
With me or with Mini Me?
Go with the Mini.
There it is. I actually thought I'd lost Mini Me. There you go. There we go. Right, off we go. You ready?
Go for it.
Dave!
Very nice.
There you go.
Can you please keep getting them right, Dave? These are all brilliant.
People said we haven't got the technology or the budget to do high-class shout-outs.
Yeah, definitely not.
There you go. Moving on to our final game of the night. This came out yesterday on PC, PS5, Xbox Series XS, Switch and Switch 2, and it's on Game Pass. This is Outbound. Let's have a look at this. There you go, folks. That is our last game tonight. That is Outbound, which came out yesterday on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, Switch and Switch 2, and it's also on Game Pass. Mag, you're going to have to wrap this up soon. It's way past Ozone's bedtime. Oh, well. I like building things. Maybe this would be one for me. Dave, tell us more about this.
Yes, this is another cozy game. This is like a sort of open world, sort of van life simulator, if you like. It's got a lot of survival and crafting stuff, and you can play it on your own or with up to 3 other friends. One of the reviews that I was watching earlier on was saying that when you play it on your own, it does feel like there's not that much really going on in the world, because really at that point all you're really doing is just doing a bit of slow-paced exploration, just looking for stuff, looking for resources. So it help you sort of craft stuff to then decorate your van or build structures around it. or you're just going out looking for little hidden items, like you can see them picking up like mines or putting stones on cairns in the trailer. That stuff I think probably would get a little bit boring fairly quick, especially for me. I would find that quite boring quite quickly. I wouldn't play very much of it. But I think if you're probably doing it with like a group of mates, all driving around the same van, all wandering around collecting stuff, building stuff, then it could probably be quite good fun. You probably get a lot more time out of it. But I say single player wise, doesn't look that great to me. Visually, I think it looks quite cool, but I think going to be more for the cozy game crowd. And I think definitely want to play with friends from what I've seen of it.
I could do a cozy stream with my mate on Saturday, playing it. There you go. Ozone, your thoughts on this?
I think it's a tricky one for me because it's I think it's great at the moment. We've seen a lot of sort of indie studios getting almost as much recognition as AAA studios. Like a lot of indie games are in the spotlight a lot more these days. The issue is that indie studios can only seem to be capable of making cozy games or roguelikes. So we're in such a like abundance of these games, it makes it difficult for me to get excited when I see it's another cozy game where you gradually build up a house or a whatever, and like, oh, you're cozy and you have fun. There's so much of that at the moment that I think there's definitely an audience for it, but with so many of them coming out, I think it's really difficult to sort of distinguish them from one another at times, for sure. But exactly, yeah, cozy slop, that sort of thing.
It's a new genre.
No, yeah, you got friend slop and cozy slop. But no, I think like the game itself looks good. I think I'm personally just like I see a lot of these games, so it's difficult for me to get excited over these types of games.
Yeah, there you go. Guildfire's agreeing with you. Said you have to pick and choose your cozy games these days because some are better than others. Okay. All right. This is your last chance to get a shout out. Get your scores in the chat. Ellie in Exile, welcome. You turned up just as we were playing the trailer. Hope you're well. By the way, this is 18 quid, normally 20 quid on Steam. Also the same on Xbox, but also free on Game Pass. 20 quid possibly on PlayStation and 20 quid on Switch. Again, thank you, Kindred, for that. Let's see what people are saying. We've got 7 out of 10 from Danker, 7 out of 10 for Gozzo, 7.5 from Dave. Gotham says 7. Flame an 8. Rock Muse an 8. Mr. Game again 7. Safe 7. 7.5 from Retro Jazar. Guildfire 7. Kindred a 7. Ozone, I'll start with you. What do you reckon?
I'm on a measly 1 point for the night, so I think I'm going to have to go for a safe 7 on this one.
Going for a safe 7. Okay. Dave, what say you?
I was thinking a safe 7 as well.
Safe 7, all right. Okay. Anybody else, folks? This is your last chance to get your scores in. This is Outbound, which came out yesterday on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch and Switch 2. And if there are no more scores, because I thought there were some scores going to come in, I can tell you it's got a 6.5.
Close.
So a lot of people are close. I don't think anyone said this. This was a 6.5 on average. So not quite as good as it first looks. I mean, Guildfire says, yeah, it's all right, but it's nothing special. Yeah. It's Minecraft on wheels. Basically. So there you go. I don't think any shout outs for that one, unfortunately. No one. There you go. There you go. Ozone is the worst performing guest we've ever had. He hears that every time he stays in a hotel too. It's not actually true. We've had people who've done worse than this.
Dave, I'm a teenager, I'd like to point out as well. Weird of you to make that comment. Well, yeah. Teenager, legally. Well.
Dave, think about what you've said.
Yeah.
And then fuck off home. There you go. I'm sad we won't be saying Mag splitting the atom now. I know. We'll try another time.
We'll save it for next week.
We'll save it for next week. There's always next week. Let's do our last bit of news. Dave said he got it right. Of course he fucking did. Doesn't mean he did, though. iQuell gave him a shout out anyway. Wow, iQuell. Wow. Wow. Someone else is going to get beaten around with a stick later. Retail charts. So, last week we looked at the Steam charts, and every 2 weeks we look at the retail charts. Now, here's some interesting things before we reveal the charts for this week. Last week, we had a couple of new entries. We had, going in at number 7, Invincible Versus as a new entry. And at number 3 was a new entry for Saros. Pragmata had previously been the number 1 game when we looked at the charts 2 weeks ago. Let's see where those games are this week, because this, as of the end of the weekend, is the UK retail shows chart. At number 10, a re-entry, Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Up 3 places because it left the top 10 last week. Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Also returning to the top 10, Pokemon Legends Z to A, up 5 places. Down 1 place, but been sticking around for a while, Resident Evil Requiem. Tekken 8, as we saw, re-entered the charts a couple of weeks ago, up 3 places. Mario Kart World also going up 3 places. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition down 2 places. Pokemon Pokepedia up 2 places. And last week's number 1, Tomodachi Life, which is the second time it's been number 1, down 1 place. And yet again, back in the top spot, EA Sports FC 26 up 3 places. And it had left the charts. And it's back in the number 1 spot. Again, Pragmata had dropped from number 2 to number 10 last week. So that, Saros, and Invincible Versus have already dropped out of the top 10, meaning the only real new games for this year are Pokepedia, Tomodachi Life, and Resident Evil Requiem. Everything else is from last year or later. No other new games have managed to enter the charts. So there we go. But I'm glad that Resident Evil Requiem is still standing there strong. But even things like Mario Kart and Super Mario Galaxy and Pokemon Legends, I'll say Z to A because I said Z to A, so it's 50-50, it's fair, also left the chart last week but have come back in. So there you go. Any shocks or surprises there, gents, that we think in chat? Let me know.
Well, I'm surprised to see Armored Core back in there. I think it's a good game, but it's like, what was it, a couple of years old now? It's surprised to see it
2 years in August, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I'm surprised to see it reappear. Nice to see it reappear.
Yeah.
Because it is a good one, but surprised.
Yeah.
And then it's also disappointing to see, was it EAFC back up there at number 1? Because I just think it's just,
Yeah.
But well, it's popular. People love it.
But it is funny because I made the comment that, Nintendo are struggling. Their share price isn't good. But most of those games that are there, all on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a few that aren't. Literally only a handful. But most of them, like nearly 80% on the Switch. That is it, folks. That is the retail chart. And that is our show. We are done for another week. Thank you so much to our wonderful guest, Ozone.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you all. You've been lovely. I'd like to clarify before we go. When I said I am 18, I said I was a teenager. Technically still teenage years. But am I the youngest guest? Sorry, that's been playing on my mind. Am I the youngest ever guest?
Possibly.
If anyone's younger than 18, then let me know.
Don't think we have.
Well, 19 next month. So
that's next month.
There you go. But
there you go.
There's
Sammy's not 12.
It's still a bit weird, Dave, mentioning about my hotel life.
Yeah.
But no, that's fine. Weird way to end it. Sorry, everyone. I feel like I've really
No. Don't worry. You've not brought the stream down. Dave's brought the stream down to his level.
Yes. That's the way to look at it, I think.
Yeah. There you go. Let me crawl off my damn pyramid. There you go. Silly Dave. Sammy's 47. No. Jesus Christ. He can't be. I hate you all. Dave's mental age is younger than 18. That doesn't surprise me. But Ozone, thank you so much. Can we get a big shout out? We've had 18 on Mag's channel before, I think, but not on TNGC. Yeah. So you might be our youngest guest we've ever had.
Yes.
Potentially. That's all right. Hold a new record. So there you go.
I think I noticed Dave saying I also got the lowest score as well. So that's two records there.
I think no, because we've had some guests that have got 0.
Oh yes, get in then. It's all
so yeah.
It's been successful then.
Dave's not quite right with that one. We have had some guests that have got 0. So yes, just saying. Just saying. But there you go. As always, thank you to our co-host who knows the most, Mr. David Jones.
It's a pleasure, mate.
Great to have you here. Next week, our guest is another streamer that we've not had on the show before. His name is Third Dinner. He will be on the show next week. No doubt we will be talking about games such as Directive 8020 or whatever Dave decides we're talking about. But there you go. Thank you to all the mods. Thanks to everyone who's been in chat. Hope you've enjoyed it. Congratulations to all the people who got them right. I think the highest score was 6 out of 10. I think. Or maybe 7 out of 10. I don't know. Let us know. But well done, Phil, you getting right. And even if you got one right, well done. We are going to do a raid. Thank you to everyone who's been watching on YouTube and Twitch. I am back tomorrow with Ozone. We are doing Mario Kart World Community Night. And everyone can join in from Ozone's community and ours because we are going to be doing a shared stream. So we're going to have a shared chat. You can watch either on Ozone's channel or my channel, but we are playing Mario Kart and you are all welcome to come in and join us and play the game. And Thursday's stream will be Directive 8020, which I'm very much looking forward to, which came out today. For those on YouTube, the stream is just going to end. For those on Twitch, we're going to do a raid. So I'm going to hit the button. Thank you, everyone. Everyone. Let's see if we've got more choices. A lot more choices tonight. It was kind of dead last night. It was insane. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, we're right. Is there anyone you'd like us to raid, Ozone, that you know of?
Oh, goodness. Let me see if anyone is live right now.
Because the thing is, I've got loads of people we could raid, but they're all people that we've raided recently. So it's like...
I'm not going to lie. My follower list, it currently is telling me it's you. it's you. I
wonder if I could raid myself. That'd be quite funny.
I've actually, there is someone that I think would be great. They're called... if I put it in our little chat here.
Yeah. Dave also said Zombie Workshop is on. Plus there's someone called Odds Odd.
Make sure. Perfect. There you are.
Yeah, we'll do Ozone's because he's the guest tonight. Iced. What's this? Iced Hawks. Okay, all right, let me see. Let me just do that. Let's get this going. Give us a second, folks, while we... Oops, press the wrong button. Okay, let's just mute. Okay. Oh, playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Great game. Great game. How do you know them?
They raided into me one time. So spoke based off of that, and I told them that I would return the favor somehow, someday. So
that's exactly what we're going to do then.
That's what we're going to do.
Okay, here we go. Let's go raid Iced Hawkshatter. I think that's how you pronounce their name. They seem cool. Let's do that. That raid's going to kick off. I will also drop their link in the chat. And there you go. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone. As I always say, wherever you are in the world, have a great morning, great afternoon, or great evening. We'll be back next week with more Tuesday Night Gaming Chat. And tomorrow, we are back with Mario Kart World. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Going to press that button. Let's do a little wave. Good night.
Good night.
Night, everyone.
boys.